You can see we searched on Google for Zircon Stud Finder, and you've got some ads. People are paying. This is probably, I don't know, I would say 30 cents for this ad. 30 cents. Depends. And buying AdWords is kind of understanding that is good to know. But in this case, you'll notice my website shows up and it's not showing up. It's showing up without paying, and the term for that, of course, is called organic link. And so this is an organic ranking, and how it's showing up is because of the words. And you'll notice the words here are, Zircon Corporation, Zircon, Stud Finders, and so on. And in fact, Google's giving you a little hint. And if you look at it, this word is a little bolder. If you can see, I don't know, you have to look closely, and this word is a little bolder. And the reason why, and it's not bolded that way in the web page, it's bolded there because Google's telling you, hey, the reason why this page is showing up is with the words I wrote there is because this is why it's ranking. Okay, so this is the title tag. This is the slug or domain name. And then, of course, this is the description tag. Now, those aren't natural inside of WordPress. You actually have to put them in. The plugin we're going to use to do that, and the most popular, is called Yoast. So I'm going to go back to my thing. I'm going to go to plugins. And the plugin I want you to install, and you should have that for sure, is I'm going to say plugins, add new. And the one we want is called Yoast, Y-O-A-S-T. And Yoast SEO, this one right here, Yoast SEO, is, you see, over 1 million plus users. It's the best. It's the best plugin to add these things. So if I say install now, and so I'm going to go and install Yoast SEO. So go and install that. Once it's installed, hit activate. And then it comes up with some messages and so on. So the key here is that I'm going to go to pages, and I'm going to open up one of my pages. Well, maybe my first page here. And so what it is added here is this part down here that you see down here at the bottom below your, so remember we were building a site, we were clicking up here, we're clicking, adding some text in here and so on, but if you scroll down below my stuff, keep scrolling, down below, after you do that, you'll notice it starts giving you some information. Right now, this is what it would look like in Google. It kind of gives you a little snippet. See that? Hey, this is what it would probably show in Google, okay, if you just uploaded it right now. But of course, it's not really very good. So what it's saying is you can optimize it. So I'm going to edit right here where it says edit snippet, and I can put whatever title I want. Notice it's kind of orange right now. It's not very good. Orange is red is ooh, no. Green is ah. Okay, so well, how would I write my title? Well, there's new ways of kind of doing it, and if you looked at the way it is on my site here, so if I go to Google again, and what we're doing, Zircon Stud Finder, Z-I-R, Zircon Stud Finder. So if we look on that again, you'll see that it has, some words, and then there's a little line. Do you see a little line? And then some words, and then another little line, and then some words. This is kind of the new way of doing it. I don't know. Amazon started doing it. Home Depot started doing it, but you don't really see it now. Here, eBay does it. See, Zircon with a little line in between. Do you see that? And then eBay. It's kind of, and you can see the little line here as well. And the Wallabout one has a little line as well. And so, I would say, that's kind of a new way. I haven't got an answer of why people want to do it that way with a little dash in there. I used to write, the title was just a few words in the almost sentence form. So again, in Yoast, if you have the Yoast installed, you can type it in up here. So since we are making flowers, I might put the best flower site on growing and planting flowers in Bay Area. Ooh, there we go. So why is this a pretty good title? Well, I use the word flower and flowers twice, so that's good. Growing and planting flowers. Somebody might type growing and planting flowers. Bay Area. I like putting location in my stuff because people tend to search for location, right? If you're going somewhere, you sometimes write that in there, right? Buying flowers in San Jose flower shop, somebody might type in, or something like that. So getting yourself a good title is important. The slug is the actual name of the thing. Right now, see how it says February 10th? That's not very good. That's the name of the folder, but that's that's not good. But I can add to the end of it over here, because that will actually, Google will look at that as well. So I can maybe call it flower. See how it says flowers up here now? See that? So you can add to your web address as well with specific keywords that you think people would search in Google. And then the last one, of course, is the meta description. And so and notice how I didn't put the dashes in there. My brain, I cannot write a title the new way. I haven't been able to really wrap myself around that. And what I meant by that is the new way is kind of, instead of putting things like that in there, they would put the it's the shift, it's below the delete key, kind of this thing like that. So instead of doing it like I did with on and stuff like that, somebody would probably go like this. Okay, where you're chunking data together, like this is one thought, this is another thought, and this is another thought with the little dashes in between. Do you see that? And then, of course, you would write the description tag as well. The description could be in sentence form. I like it in sentence form right here. How many characters? They measure the description in characters, usually less than 300, more than 160, somewhere between 160 and 300. If you look on Google, of course, they tend to, some are kind of long. Look at this one. Some are kind of short. Look at that one. I don't know how they determine, I guess, looks like you can have a lot more. So yeah, somewhere between 300 and 160 is what the suggestion is. So Yoast plugin is probably the most useful one, because then you can write a different description for each page. So I would write a description, slug, and title for each page separately. So I would kind of market it with the content in there, right? What is my content? And then write it kind of specific to that. It's probably the best way of going about it. So how Google would rank this then was it's kind of matching what you write in the title with what you write in the description with what you write on this website as well, and matching all those to give you an organic kind of listing. And so I would say Yoast is very important. Yoast is a theme, and and there's a lot to it, a lot more than that. You could go through the general and open up the configuration wizard. If you take the next class, the advanced internet marketing, I would go through all this with you and configure a site with going through this. It's a little complicated though. You need a Google account to be able to take full advantage of this, because you have to go into the Google console. So in order to do some things with the Yoast to get your website ranked, you got to use the Google console. And so you should learn how to use Google console. The Google console here. And you have to log in. I'm not logged in. But inside the Google console here, once you're logged in, then you get specific ID numbers that you then associated with your name, right? So you have an account from Google. You then take that ID number and you put it into Yoast, and so it's matching Yoast to you. And so just like I was in here, see here, in the wizard inside there, you go through the wizard, you go through, there's a whole bunch of stuff to it. You go through, you go through, you go through, you can put all your social media in there. All this is in there, all that. And then here's your Google console. Again, you have to get an authorization from Google. What that does then is it takes your account and matches it to your website. Google likes that because then it knows, it knows who you are, and it wants to have, Google wants to make sure that you're not, because there's plenty of people out there trying to scam all kinds, especially trying to scam Google and trying to get, high ranking in Google by trying to scam them. So, they really want you to be kind of, I guess, legit is the word I'm looking for here. And so that's why you have to log into the Google console, get your authorization code, come over here and put it in here, and then be authenticated. And once you're done with that, then you can keep going through here and through here. And then, there's a lot to it. Then you put your email in there, and then I don't know what the beauty of the premium Yoast. I've never used premium Yoast. I don't know if it's worth it. You could do a lot with just the free version of Yoast here. And then Success. And then you're like, woo. There's some great videos on using Yoast, and you can watch them. There's a whole class you can watch on how to use Yoast.
You're now at the Yoast SEO Meta Box. Yoast SEO Meta Box has several purposes.
This is a company from
the
Netherlands, I think.
It gives you two scores as well, a content score and an SEO score. Let's start with the content score. The content score tells you what you have done right and what you've done wrong in writing your text. Wrong is, of course, something that you can have your opinion about, but we've done a lot of research into what makes a text easy to read. And we've translated that research into checks that we do on your content to see how you could improve your content. One of the things that we found, for instance, is that long sentences are hard to read. Now, we don't just tell you that 6.8% of your sentences, in this case, has more than 20 words. We also allow you to highlight this result in the text.
Okay, we're not going to sit through this all, but they got some great videos that tell you how to do things, okay? And in addition, you should learn how to write for your website. It's rather important that you learn how to write for the web, and there's some really good tutorials on that as well. I would say here, let's watch one video of I have to find it though. I have to think of where it's at. Let me go into Canvas.
Getting that authorization code is a whole separate element that you would do and then import the information.
Oh, for the Yoast? Yeah, you log into your Google account on the console, and then inside there will be your number. Okay, your number is in the Google console, and you copy that because that's inherent to you. Because Google will tell you, hey, this is your number, right? This is your number. You copy that and then paste it in that box in Yoast, and then what that does, and then hit the authenticate button, is then it matches that website to you. And that way then Google knows who you are, and you're not, some hacker or whatever. They're trying to.
That goes into that whole slug and
It goes in. I was in. If you wanted to see where I was at, it's in the wizard. So after you installed the Yoast plugin, here it is. A new. See how the little tab showed up right here? It's over here. And then once you click on it, then there is a wizard. So under general, wizard, and then go through the wizard. It's a wizard that asks your questions. Just answer the questions it's asking you. There's a great video and it shows you how to go. And what I did is I watched the video and just went through each step. So the video is on, here, I'll show you where the video is at. I'm logging in right now. Hold on. Here, I'm in. I just don't know where my class is. I lost my old class. I lost my class. For that video, I would just go to YouTube and type in Yoast. Go to YouTube, and then go to Yoast.
just search for Yoast.
Yoast SEO, and then I don't know if it was this one, the one that I followed. It might have been that one. I think it.
Cartoon guy.
Hold on, the one that I used. It was actually a link in what I. Yeah, I think it was this one. This one, yeah, the second one. Well, actually, it's the first one because this is an ad. So I typed in Yoast SEO in YouTube, and I followed this one.
Ours is still buffering. What's happening? You're experiencing a network delay. You both need to be watching that on the iPhone with Verizon, the best streaming network. How long have they been here? I've been here a couple days.
Get the best unlimited on the most awarded network. And now when you buy iPhone 8, you'll get one on us.
Yeah.
My websites, and it is not optimized. I have never actually.
So it goes from starting. I just installed the Yoast plugin. Okay, he starts right there, and he shows you, and he goes through each and every. And there he goes. He's clicking on the wizard. Right there's the wizard, and he goes through each and every one. Why you would want to do one over the other. Then here he even tells you to go to Google and get your authorization code right here. And he shows you where to put the author. See, this is it right here. This is the authorization area right there. And he shows you to put that in. Of course, you just need a Google account. It's all. You don't need a Gmail or anything. I have a Google account with a Yahoo email address, right? It's not that you need a Gmail or anything. You just need an account with Google.
And basically what that does is it authenticates that you're a normal human.
Yes, that you are optimizing this website under your code. It's trying to make a relationship between the website and the person. Yeah.
So after you install it, like how do you have it? You're saying we need to get the authorization code before we can even use it?
No, I can use Yoast without this authorization code. This is just how to if you really want to take advantage of Yoast and get your website high ranked, this is how you can do it. Yoast will work without doing this.
You said after you install it, it should come up on the dashboard,
it comes up, yeah, somewhere. I don't know where my page is now. I don't know where. I don't know where it went. I lost my. Oh, here it is. It shows up over here after you install Yoast. It's a plugin and it shows up here. So yeah, there's a bunch of features in here. He talks about each and every one of these. The Bing, you can also get a code for Bing and so on. And so again, there's verification codes. You notice this is Bing is the website, is the search engine for Microsoft. And then there's search.
You get one for every.
If you want to be organically in all these, you should go through all this. It takes a lot of time and effort.
But it's like one-stop shopping. Once you do that, then you don't have to.
Then your site is optimized, and it's already. Then once it's on there, then it's already you're associated with you. You're pretty much done, and then I would just keep changing the Yoast every few days. You you could rewrite the thing every once in a while.
Like the slug and the search.
Yeah, you can rewrite that. People probably write it every day. Yeah, well, because Google likes things to change. They like, you know, they
What's the method behind that?
optimizing that. Yeah, writing. So let's talk about writing the text on your page. Hold on, that's what I wanted to talk about briefly. And in the internet marketing class, we had that video of yeah, where was it? This one, writing text. Where is it? Not that one. So again, you should realize that most people don't read text very much. They read about 20% of what they see online, and there's some stats in there and so on. I wanted the the F pattern here. So this woman talks about how people read and the way you should write your text on your website. So let's watch that through. It's short.
The F pattern, also known as the F-shaped scanning pattern, is an approach people take to reading on the web. We observe people reading this way when we do eye tracking research, during which we use technology which enables us to see what people are fixating on, what they're looking at as they read on the web. In action, the F pattern appears to look like the letter F. So a person begins reading on the left side of a column of text, and as they read, they move to the right. And then they move back to the left, and when they move to the right, they'll read a little bit less. And they move back to the left and read a little bit less and a little bit less. And it ends up appearing to be the capital letter F, roughly. We also see the F pattern on mobile devices, but it's smaller. And in languages when people read from right to left, like Arabic, we also see the F pattern, but it's reversed. So why does the F pattern happen? It happens because people are trying to minimize the work they need to do and maximize the benefit they get from that work. For eye tracking, that means they're trying to economize on the number of fixations that they do on a page and learn the most that they can from the content that they actually do look at. Page layout also plays a major role in whether people scan in the F pattern. If we present a wall of text to users that has no formatting and isn't written for the web, they're going to find their own path through that text. And we can do things to make it much easier for people to scan text. For example, use chunking of text, use bullets, and more important than anything, use headings and subheadings within the text, and make those headings look different from normal text. Larger, a different color, bolder, a different typeface. Any of these things can work. And with that, users are able to scan to the headings and decide if those words are things that they're interested in. And if they are, they'll read the normal text below it. And if not, they'll read to the next heading. And that's a different pattern that we see people revealing when they read on the web. And I like to call that one the layer cake pattern. I was hungry when I named that one. It resembles a layer cake with the frosting and the cake. So layer cake is a good pattern. F pattern is one that can and should be avoided.
She just said F pattern should be avoided. I didn't understand that point at the end, but so writing text on your blog or on your website is rather important. If you look at I think my website has horribly written text too. It's not horrible. It's just the biggest. We do title, summary, and then bullets. It's not too bad. But then there's a read more. I don't like to read more, but there's a little read more, read less, read more. There's only one liar. But again, bullets of information. The how-to section here is a little bit, this is a little bit too long, I would say. And then if people go here, you'll see, subtitle, information, subtitle. Notice how it's in, this is not very good. I don't know. But you get the idea, hopefully. You need to really practice writing for the web. Do some research. This is a good site, this one, the Nelson Norman Group. They do a lot of research into them. They got some nice articles about how to write for the web. They even have a whole book called Writing for the Web. Okay, you can download or buy that book if you want from them. They have a book out. And so you might want to look into it. And then, of course, they do a bunch of eye tracking research and things like that. Okay, so I don't know. The Yoast is very important. Again, you don't have to go through the whole setting up. You could just use the plugin as it is. Again, it goes on each and every page. You go to pages, and depending on the page, any page that you have now, once you have it installed, you just have the information down here, and then you can edit it to be a little more optimized. This isn't optimized at all right here. Google's never going to really rank this. It really takes time. Okay, let's talk about some more plugins you might want to use. We talked about Yoast. We talked about Contact 7. Right? Let's go and talk about more of those. We're running out of time. We got about an hour left. I know you're tired. It's a long day, I know. I'm just talking. And the whole thing is you should be practicing after today's discussion. And I'll see the teacher tomorrow, and I'll tell him that you are all here and you did wonderful. Okay.